Hi, it's me again, and the BBC shit show still continuing. I didn't talk about it yesterday because I was just kind of following developments of it, because I did say in the first video where we talked about this that it could just be a bit of a storm in a teacup. It could just blow over. There's probably a reason why the BBC aren't mentioning the name. Maybe they don't want another Cliff Richard on their hands or something like that. So I was just kind of monitoring yesterday. But there has been some more developments today, but I understand why the BBC aren't naming names. I don't agree with it. And the problem with it is, it's going to cause a lot of legal problems for some other people. All right, you know, you can't go naming names, but like Jeremy Vine, for instance, is threatening court action on a few people. I believe a couple of other celebrities are. Many BBC presenters' names are getting dragged through the mud for no reason at all, and they are starting to pressure. I mean, even Jeremy Vine said so publicly. He said it on his Twitter, didn't he? Jeremy Vine urges BBC Sex Pics presenter to come forward as broadcaster on its knees. And there's his tweet. I'll put it on the screen. There, he talked about it. Oh yeah, I mean, his name was mentioned like he was trending for a while, and it's not right, is it? It's something probably he hasn't done, and he's having to fight fires to keep his own name clean. Now, I'm no Jeremy Vine fan, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's an odd one. And one thing that was interesting that's come out now is the BBC's timeline of events for it, because we're all saying, why did it take so long for this? That's a cool little boat. Look at this. I've not seen this one before. Look at it. Oh, hang on, you can't see it. Bear with. Oh, there you go. They're all saying, why has it taken so long for the BBC if they had that report in May, was it? So they've released their timeline of events now. So let's have a look and see what it said. Let me find somewhere to link. So yeah, it says here, look, on the 18th of May, the complaint by a family member attended the BBC building where they sought to make a complaint about the behaviour. So it's the 18th of May, someone actually went to the BBC to complain. On the 19th, the complaint was contacted BBC Audience Services. On the 19th, it escalated. On the 19th, it's escalated. On the 19th, it's escalated. And then on the 19th of May, the checks were also made to verify the identity of the complainant. This is standard procedure, blah, blah, blah. On June the 6th, having received no response to the email referenced above in one of the other bits, a phone call was made to a mobile number provided by the complainant. This call did not connect. Following these attempts to make contact with the complainant, the corporate investigations team were due to return to the matter in the coming weeks, and no additional attempts. And then on July the 6th, the Sun newspaper informed the BBC via the corporate press office of the allegations. So that, yeah, I mean, if that's true, I'm sure the BBC can back it up, because knowing the Sun, they'll put in an FOI request for this information. Mind you, yeah, it can redact personal details. They should get that information, right? So at this moment in time, I can't believe I'm about to say these words, but I've got no reason to disbelieve the BBC on this one. So there was a month's difference, and then it went to the Sun newspaper, and then they acted quite quickly. Why did they act quite? Well, they tried to. I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, if I had a complaint against the BBC, I would complain directly to the BBC. But if it was a matter like this, I would also go to a newspaper, because the BBC marked their own homework, and they've got some previous on it. It was reported to the BBC. The BBC tried to do stuff, granted, but they do mark their own homework, don't they? And a newspaper has a vested interest in investigating these things, because it sells papers. Don't it? It gets headlines. There's a new Bentley with another CCJ number plate. Look. How many Bentleys has the CCJ man got? It's not my Bentley. I prefer the black one anyway. But yeah, so it's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky. They still haven't named him. The other point is, yeah, well, I said it could be a bit of a storm in a teacup. That's why I left it yesterday. But more allegations have come out. I mean, a lot of people saying the BBC's blown this out of proportion. It's just sensationalism. They can't prove anything. That was going around for a while. But now there's more allegations more allegations come out. It's only a matter, I mean, you can put any celebrity name out there and then more allegations will come out on there. But yeah, so it says here, look, BBC star broke lockdown rules to meet another youngster from dating app Fresh Claim. And a bit pushy, apparently kept pushing and pushing and pushing, wanted a date during lockdown and then sent some money. And then there's another one. Creepy messages, BBC sex pic scandal. Presenter started Instagram chat with teenage follower 17 using love hearts and kisses. And there's, I'm not sure it's screenshots, but it's made up of what the conversation was. And the sad thing about this, Instagram seems to be a bit of a grooming hotspot at the minute. I've read a lot of stories recently of that sort of thing happening. And even some footballers have been reported to have messaged some young teenagers through direct messages on Instagram. Is that the new grooming hotspot? Is that where it all happens, really? And then yeah, the one I did enjoy reading, where is it? BBC presenter extremely angry over sex pics allegations, claims former colleague. Well, you would be angry, wouldn't you? Because your career's fucked now. You know, you're suspended anyway. And all this is going around. It's not going to go away. Maybe some more allegations come out, maybe it won't. But to be fair, that's probably enough to knacker your career that's happened now, right? Can you see this person back presenting whatever it is they present on the BBC? Think about that. Some independent media outlets have named the name now. I wouldn't do it. Why risk it? Why risk the legal trouble that could come from that? But I think we all have a fair idea who it is now. And even if only half this stuff's true, their career's knackered. It's knackered, and the BBC cannot bury another one of these. They've got to be seen to be acting hard and fast. But going by the BBC's annual report that was recently published, TV licence, they call it evasion figures. I like to call it people not paying the TV licence fee, as is their right not to do, is the highest it's been since 1995. Apparently it's over 10%. I think you're going to see a rise in that. I think this is going to cause a rise in that. It's bloody hell. The BBC have just got too much previous. That's the problem. That's the problem. You can't control every member of staff that you have. Of course you can't. You know, you don't know what everyone's doing in their private lives and that. So it's not all the BBC's fault. I hate to sound like I might be defending the BBC, but the can they bury another one? You know, some channels can. You know, that's why ITV's not too deeply in it, because they're not known for having loads of scandals, are they? But the BBC are. Can they bury another one? I think evasion rates are going to get well higher. Yeah, and anything I can do to help that, it's good. If you still pay your licence fee, ask yourself why. Why are you paying these people? You don't have to pay it. You can watch them as long as you don't watch recordings being broadcast use iPlayer. You don't need to pay it. I haven't paid it for 10 years. People down in the comments have paid it for more. A lot of people are touting it could be the end of the BBC as we know it. I told you something interesting was going to happen this year with regards to the BBC and the licence fee. I didn't see this one coming. But yeah, something's going to come. They're already talking about suspending the rise that was due for next year. I don't know if that will happen or not. But something's going to happen this year with the licence fee. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. But it's all developing, isn't it? I'm keeping an eye on it. If anything big comes along, I'll talk about it. Otherwise, hit the button, subscribe button, all the other buttons people talk about on YouTube. And I'll see you in the next one, whenever that will be. Ta-da.